Yo, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to the Steve 2 video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the most popular weapons in PVE. With Rite 9 going on, there's a lot of people diving into PVE and some of those dungeons. So today I want to check out what are some of the best weapons that you could be using in PVE, and what are some of the most popular choices that people are using. I'm not going to tell you, even though there's some weapons here that you're most likely are going to be expecting, there's also some surprises that you wouldn't really expect. So we're going to be going over the top 10 most popular weapons. What are they? Where to get them? What are some of the god rolls you should be looking for them? And also, most importantly, what actually makes them good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you guys do, remember to like and subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already. So without further ado, let's get into it, and let's take a look at what people are using in PvE. Now, starting this off at number 10, we actually have a fairly new weapon, the Watchful Eye arc machine gun. And this weapon comes from the Nether, as well as being able to focus it, so it's actually very easy to get this weapon. And I think that's actually one of the reasons that it's so popular this season. It is just very easy to get, and also because of the lack of good arc machine guns that are not tied to a raid. Before this weapon, there wasn't really any good arc machine guns that were easily accessible, but this weapon basically came in, changed it all, and now everyone can pretty much get a really good arc machine gun with the Watchful Eye. Now, another reason that this weapon is so popular, I think, is because it also comes with jolting feedback. Both of the top roles that people are looking for have jolting feedback, overflow jolting feedback, and then they carry jolting feedback. People just love jolting feedback, and for a good reason. Especially because this is a higher RPM machine gun, as it's 100 RPM, meaning that it can actually proc jolting feedback a lot faster, just because of the way the perk works. So you can just constantly proc this perk over and over again. It's probably one of the best arc machine guns in the game, if not the best actually. It's essentially used like a legendary Thunderlord. Now, number 9, we're gonna have our first exotic, being the Lodestar, the exotic trace rifle. Now, this weapon is very unique from the way it shoots to also being a trace rifle is primary ammo. But the reason why people are using this weapon is because it has some insane synergy with arc builds. It works really well with them, it synergizes with them. And since Arc is very strong this season with some of the new fragments we got, as well as there being a lot of mods in the artifact that are Arc related, it means that this is just the perfect season for the Lone Star to really shine. And also, since it was introduced this season, it's very fresh in people's mind, so a lot of people just kind of went immediately towards this weapon when the season started, and they found out just how good it is with a lot of this Arc build. Now, using it by itself can also be a pretty fun weapon in either PvP or PvE, but to get the most out of this weapon, you should definitely run it with an arc build. And getting this weapon is gonna be very easy. If you're watching this video when it went live, all you have to do is get to level 40 in the season pass if you're free to play. Or if you purchase Episode Heresy, you pretty much get this weapon early at rank 1. So as soon as you get in the game, you pretty much can grab this weapon. So a lot of you guys, I think, actually already have this weapon. And if you guys haven't given it a try this season, definitely do your arc build. You're definitely gonna be surprised just how good this weapon is. And it being a primary ammo trace rifle means that you're never gonna run into ammo issues. It's just a really good, solid weapon that perfectly builds. And number 8, we have another exotic, and this time is the Lemon Arc, the exotic Void Bow. And you're gonna be able to get this weapon from the kiosk in the tower. Now, this weapon has always been pretty great, especially at any activities that have to do with champions, since it does have an anti-champion mod. But this season, it definitely has seen a bit of a resurgence, and it may actually be the most popular this weapon has ever been because of its interaction with Bolt Charge, and also the new Titan aspect. You essentially stand behind the barrier, spam your Lemon Arc, and just watch lightning strikes just happen over and over and over again. It's one of the best weapons that you can actually pair up with Bolt Charge, and since Bolt Charge is just such a strong ability, it means that as long as Bolt Charge is consistent and viable, then the Lemon Arc is not really going to be going anywhere. If you guys haven't tried out this weapon on your Titan, you definitely should. This weapon is insane. Just the base interaction between the barrier and the bow are very strong, but once you factor in some of the artifact mods that we have this season, it seems like it was tailor-made for this combo. Lots of arc mods, plus lots of void mods, essentially make this just unstoppable. And I'm sure the majority of you guys pretty much just started the Titan as soon as I mentioned the Lemon Arc. This thing is insane in PvE, and even after the mods are gone, I think it's still going to be amazing, and definitely an option that you want to keep open whenever you're on your Titan. On number 7, we're going to have the Everan Action, their rocket sidearm. Even after some of the nerfs that they got, the rocket sidearms are still amazing. And this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but we have multiple rocket sidearms in this list. And this is gonna be the very first one, the Everan Action. And you can get this weapon from the episode 1 activities, and this is actually a craftable weapon. So after you get enough red borders, you can actually craft your perfect god roll. You don't really have to rely on RNG. And that is one of the reasons that I think it's so popular, but also because it comes with the classic solar combo of Heal Clip plus Incandescent, giving you even more ad clear as well as just constant healing, giving you tons and tons of variability on this weapon. Whether you're in a solar build or not, this weapon is always going to be a good choice. Now the reason that I don't think that this weapon is higher is just because of the seasonal mods. I think because we don't really have anything that's solar related in the mods, that actually made it drop quite a bit, because this was actually one of the most used weapons used last episode. So I think that's actually the reason that it kind of dropped a bit on popularity, but this thing is still going to be fantastic. You carry lots of ammo, you do lots of damage. I feel like the rocket items are still overall the best special weapon when it comes to use like everyday play. You can just slap them on anytime and they'll perform pretty well. At number 6, we're going to have another weapon from episode 1. Episode 1 actually brought us some pretty good weapons, and it's the Lost Signal, the Area of Denial Frame Grenade Launcher. I'm actually very impressed by this grenade launcher. It was our first ever Area of Denial frame, and even though more of them have come out throughout the episodes, the Lost Signal continues to be the best. I think one of those reasons is just the slot that it's in. Being in the kinetic slot, I mean a stasis weapon, makes it perfect for any type of prismatic builds that want to spam a lot of Transcendence. And that's actually the reason that I kind of end up using this weapon usually, because it builds up Transcendence energy like no other. You get so much energy used with this thing, it is fantastic, and it also has some pretty good rolls. Now this weapon, just like with the previous one, comes from the Act 1 activities, so if you go in there, you can get yourself this weapon, and it is also a craftable weapon, meaning that once you get 5 red borders, you'll also be able to craft your perfect roll. And the best rolls that you can get on this weapon are definitely going to be auto-loading Vorpal to get a bit of extra damage with those shots on some of the bigger enemies, as well as auto-loading Demolitionist, meaning that every time you get some kills, you're going to be getting back some grenade energy. I feel like the auto-loading is really what makes this weapon feel very nice, and as long as you have something with auto-loading, it'll be a pretty good roll. Now at number 5, we're going to have the exotic machine gun, the Thunderlord, and this thing has been insane this season. And it's another one of those weapons, just like the Monarch, that has seen a bit of a resurgence thanks to bolt charge. It pairs up so well with it, and it makes this thing into a DPS machine. People are just casually two-facing bosses in Ultimatum without too much effort with Thunderlords. The Thunderlord just feels very good this season with bolt charge and a lot of the mods that are arc related and artifact. It is just the perfect time to bring out this beast and do some very simple DPS damage, but that is very effective. And you're going to be able to pick up this weapon from Sir, and that's going to be like the best place to actually get it. Now for this one, I would definitely highly recommend the Catalyst to try to get it as soon as you can. It pretty much just supercharges this weapon, and it makes it so you pretty much never have to reload it. Every time that you hit some lightning strikes, it just keeps auto-loading the magazine, essentially eliminating the only downside of this weapon, which is its long reload speed. But as long as you have the Catalyst, this thing is going to be a beast, and when you pair it up with bolt charge, it becomes even better. If you haven't tried out the Thunderlord again with your Titan this season, give it a try. You're going to be surprised how much damage you can actually put out there. At number 4, we have the Queenbreaker, the exotic linear fusion rifle, and this thing has been basically like the DPS weapon this season. After it's reworked, it made this thing go from like something that you never really saw to a weapon you see pretty much all the time, no matter the activity that you're doing, because this thing outputs so much damage. And with particle reconstruction being the artifact, it basically just overnight broke this weapon, and it became one of the best ones in the game to put out any sort of damage. So even though I'm sure 99% of you guys have actually used the Queenbreaker this season, if you still haven't, give it a try and see the power of the Queenbreaker. No matter what you run into, if it has a crit that you can hit with the Queenbreaker, it's gonna be pretty good. And the easiest way to get this weapon is gonna be from Sir. He has brought it a couple of times this season, but even if he doesn't bring it that week, you could also buy the engram and you'll have a chance to actually get in the Queenbreaker. He also brings the Catalyst, which is something that you should definitely pick up as well. It basically does something similar, funnily enough, to the Thunderlord Catalyst. It essentially just lets you shoot this weapon just for longer without having to reload. Rewind rounds on this thing just goes insane. Now at number 3, we're going to have our final exotic weapon on the list, and it's the Lord of Wolves. Now this thing has been insane all season, and it is still insane, even though it got a 35% damage nerf with the Rite 9 update. This thing still puts out so much damage that it's still basically the go-to for a lot of bosses that you can get up close to them. Even after such a big nerf, it basically didn't even affect it, and it's still one of the best damaging weapons used in the game as a whole. And the great thing about it is that you don't really have to do anything fancy with the weapon or anything like that. You basically just hit fire the weapon and you do tons of damage. It is the best type of DPS possible, very simple, and everyone can do it. Now to get this weapon, this is again where you're going to be at the mercy of Sir, because that's where you can get this weapon, as was its catalyst. So you pretty much just have to wait till Sir brings the weapon, or get lucky from the Sir engram if you don't have it already. But if you already have it, just pull it from collections, and hopefully you have the catalyst done, and then you can just go have some fun with the weapon. At the number 2 spot, we're going to have the Cole, the rocket sidearm from the Pale Heart, and you can get this one from the Pale Heart activities. And what's really good about this one is that it's also a craftable weapon. So once you get enough red borders from the Pale Heart, you're going to be able to craft your perfect roll. And the best rolls that you can put on this sidearm are going to be either lead from gold and 1 furrow, or lead from gold plus vorpal weapon. Lead from gold is really what makes this weapon even better than some of the other sidearms. It makes the already pretty great economy on the rocket sidearms even better. You can pretty much just spam your ammo with this one and not really run into any ammo issues. And the reason I think that this weapon is so popular right now is mostly because of the strand mods. We have some very strong strand mods right now that released with Act 3, so a lot of people have been trying strand builds, and because of that, this thing goes just so hard with those builds. It makes an already pretty good weapon even better. So the Cole is still a fantastic weapon, and the great thing I like about it is just how easy it is to get. But even after the mods are gone, this thing is still going to be fantastic. It's still going to be a rocket sidearm that has even more ammo than usual. So people are still definitely going to be using it. And at the number 1 spot, we're going to have another rocket sidearm. It's the Iron Banner rocket sidearm, Tanisha's Mastery. And this thing has just had an explosive rise ever since it basically released, becoming the most popular sidearm, and it's all thanks to essentially Choke Clip. Choke Clip is just such an S tier perk that when you pair it up with an S tier archetype like a rocket sidearm, there's no way that the combination wasn't just gonna be a top tier weapon. This thing is just so good, and this season specifically with the sidearms doing barriers, Tanisha's was really all you needed. For any activity where you deal with any champions, Tanisha's used by itself was able to take out all 3 champions, which is insane. Very few weapons can even take out 2 different types of champions, but Tanisha's being able to take out 3 is just amazing. And next season, when it's no longer barrier, it will still be able to stun 2 different types of champions just by having Choke Clip. Just having Choke Clip on a rocket sidearm is just such a strong thing that unless they nerf Choke Clip or somehow the rocket sidearms just do like no damage, I can definitely see this sidearm being top tier for a very long time to come. And you can get this sidearm fairly easy from the Iron Banner. I know a lot of you guys maybe don't want to get into PvP, but this sidearm is 100% worth it. And lucky for you, there's one more Iron Banner coming during this episode, so if you guys still haven't got a Tanisha's, definitely get in there and get it. And the rolls that you're looking for are basically anything with Choke Clip. Literally, you can pair up anything with Choke Clip and it'll be good, but the best rolls are definitely going to be Air Trigger Choke Clip for getting even more ammo and reload speed, or Loose Chain Choke Clip, which gives you increased reload speed. You just don't get the extra ammo reserves. But with that, we're going to end today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel in case you guys ain't already. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about these weapons? What do you guys think about these most popular weapons? Were they what you expected? Were there some in here that you maybe didn't expect to be as popular as they ended up being? Let me know that in the comments below. And also let me know just what weapon you've been enjoying lately. Have you been using one for this list? Or have you been using something that's not on the list? One that I really been enjoying is the Excalibur, which I don't think is going to be that popular because it's a glaive, but it can do some crazy stuff this season. But thank you for watching, thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care everyone, have a good day, peace.